I'm going to describe how you can use Python and ChatGPT to do sentiment analysis of customer reviews. In the following Python code, you can see a feedback variable which has a negative review, finishing with last time I used this company. I have a feedback underscore function and I pass in that feedback variable and it returns a result. When I print the result, you can see the feedback function has returned a tuple with the first element being a score. Here it's 3, with 0 being the most negative score and 10 being the most positive score. So for this negative review, 3 makes sense. It also returns a string which justifies why it gave the score. So here the justification is negative as a product worked for only a few days and the customer is hesitant to recommend it to friends. To implement this function, you'll need to set up an account on OpenAI. I also needed to set up a payment method. You're charged as pay-as-you-go and you have to give credit card details. But I set up a usage limit to only a couple of dollars a month. You'll need to check the costs, but in general, it doesn't cost very much to make a few calls to ChatGPT using their API. On OpenAI, you'll also need to create an API key so you can call their API. First of all, I pip installed OpenAI. I also needed to pip install upgrade OpenAI too. I imported OpenAI and also RE, which I use for regular expression parsing. In my code, first of all, I set the OpenAI API key. That's the API key you just created within OpenAI. Then define the function feedback score, which takes a single argument, a string, which is a feedback review, and it returns a tuple, which is the int, the score, and a string, the justification for the score. You'll need to pass in several parameters, the OpenAI ChatGPT call, which I will describe. The first of which is system_message. Here I'm telling ChatGPT you're a helpful assistant who understands data science. I then set up another variable, user_message. In this, I'm describing what I want ChatGPT to do, to analyze the review and give me a score between 0 and 10, 0 being the most negative and 10 the most positive. And I say I want the score within square brackets as a single digit. I also tell ChatGPT that I want the justification for the score in curly braces. And finally, I concatenate the feedback argument which had been passed into the function. This contains the review that we want to analyze. Here I'm making a call to the ChatGPT API and I'm receiving a response back. In the call, I pass in the model. I also pass in the system message I set up earlier and also the user message. Here I'm passing the response I received back from OpenAI, extracting ChatGPT's text, which can be found under choices, index 0, message and content. And I'm just printing it to the screen for debug purposes. Finally, from the generated text I've just passed, I retrieve the score, which is surrounded by square brackets, and I'm using the split command. Likewise, from the generated text, I'm returning the analysis, which is a justification for the score, which I'm using split to extract it from curly braces. And then I return as a tuple the score and the analysis.